Hi everyone. Well, I've got the chain sprockets, adjuster, everything all refitted to the XR250R. A few things went wrong for me. First of all, the front sprocket. I had a couple of new ones of those, so I thought I would just use one of the ones I already had. It's a 13 tooth on the front of these and a 48 tooth on the rear. Anyway, the sprockets that I had were off the Honda XL 250S, and the spline gap is different. The spline on these are even up and even down. On the other bike it was a little bit wider on the up and a little bit more narrow on the down, so the sprocket wouldn't fit onto the output shaft of the engine. So that was a bit of a problem. I had to wait a few days for the new XR250R sprocket to arrive, which is this one here. So that's all fitted on, and I had to break my chain, take some links off the chain. So what I do for that is I bring the wheel axle right up against its stoppers, so right in as close as it will go into the swing arm, and then put the chain on, and then mark on the chain. I do it about halfway along here, it's easy to get access to. Mark on the chain where you want to break it, and then break it, and then fit the master link, the joiner link or the joint link, the master link. Always make sure you got the clip end, the open end goes away from the direction of the wheel. So the closed end here is in the direction that the wheel is going to roll when we go forwards. That's the recommended way of fitting the outer clip on these master links. And then I just adjusted it. Still got a little bit of free play, not too much at this stage because the chain will stretch quite easily. And set up my adjusters, even spacing on both sides of the axle. Just click, click, click nicely on that, and then nip up the 24mm nut when you've got that all in place. So the other problem I had was getting the old sprocket off. Of course, you'll come across this. You may have already had this happen to you yourselves. The sprocket bolts and nuts had rusted so badly that I couldn't get it off. So I had a big job trying to break. It was only the last two which were holding me back. I was nearly tempted to grind the nut off with my angle grinder with the cut-off blade, but I couldn't get it in there. So I had to resort to other measures. Had to be a bit brutal, to be honest, but anyway, I got them off, and I was able to straight away fit my new sprocket in place with my new sprocket bolts and nuts. Plenty of anti-seize on there to prevent that ever happening to some person or myself in the future. Another thing you've got to watch out for when you do the bearings on these hubs is that just down in here there's a little retainer block which unscrews. It's got little indents in it. There's a special tool you can buy that has got the little prongs on it that go into the holes, and you can just unscrew this this inner piece to allow you to get access to the bearing. If you're careful though, you could just drift it off carefully with a large punch, which is what I use, without destroying it or damaging the hole. They normally come out fairly easily. They're quite a fine thread, come out pretty easily. And again, when I put my new bearing in, I added some anti-seize when I put it back in place again. And the seal goes on the other side of your axle where the disc is. All that went pretty smoothly. I think you know, when you're doing these jobs, you may as well replace the bearings as well, because on a bike like this, it's 30 years old. You know, your wheel bearings could be original, or they could be the second lot in there, but they had a little bit of sideways play, and it just annoyed me. I didn't want to box it all up with that, knowing that that was already there. So I freshened up this whole rear end, just waiting for the pads to arrive. I thought I had the right size pads, again wrong ones, so they're on order. They should be here shortly, and I'll do a little video of slipping the new rear pads into the caliper. But otherwise, pretty well good to go on the rear end. Quite happy with how it's all turned out. Like most of these bikes, it's missing the little guard which goes on there to protect you're getting your boot or something caught in there, but the chances of getting caught in there are quite remote because you're way back here on the peg anyway. So a lot of these guards are missing by this stage. And to buy another one, you're up for quite a few dollars, nearly $100 to buy one of these, even second hand. So the first thing which gets lost, and so I think the price is set accordingly. So yeah, okay, I hope everything's going well with your project. So this was a project which I wanted to get done last weekend, but because I had to wait for all these extra parts to arrive, I had to do it just now. So it drifted over 2 weekends. Like most things, you think you got your plan all in place, you think you got everything you need to do the job, but maybe not always working out for you. So I should have checked the sprocket first of all to check that it was actually going to fit the spline, but never mind, I found out the hard way, and had to be patient waiting for the new sprocket to arrive. Not a bad price. I got this from Motor One down there in the Waikato. It came up in a couple of days by courier. I think it cost me about $25 including shipping, so it's not too bad. This time I haven't run the bimetal alloy and metal sprocket teeth on this sprocket. I'm doing a bit of a lower budget refresh on this bike at this stage. We'll see how things go. If I decide to put more money into it, I may go for a nice red alloy with the black riveted teeth. They do look quite smart, like I've got here on my CRF. By the way, the CRF didn't sell. I thought it was going to sell. They changed their mind. Still for sale. So that's the sprocket on this. A lot of the parts on the CRF are actually interchangeable with this, with the XR250. I've got a feeling the sprocket is the same. Yeah, it is. Same sprocket spline on the CRF 230F compared as well as with the XR250R. So anyway, this is a 2008 CRF 230F, and I've got it listed at the moment for $2,500 New Zealand, which I think is very fair for the hundreds of dollars of parts that I've put into this bike. I'm losing quite a bit, but at least it's well prepared for the next owner. They won't have to spend any money on it, and they should have years of really good riding out of this bike. They are a very popular learner bike, so I'm hoping that it'll go in the next few weeks. I don't really want to drop the price down lower than that, but I'll just sit on it, I think, and just I might pack it back up in storage if it doesn't sell for a while, and just leave it listed and just see what happens over the coming months. But if you are interested, drop me a message. I'm happy to show it to you. You can see plenty of videos on my channel on how this bike performs. A little bit of work I've been doing on the degree. I ended up putting the new stand switch on here, so that's all fitted in place and tested, and it does everything it should do. So thanks very much for watching, and catch you a little bit later on in the next one.